About a year ago, I came across a YouTube channel called Thariah. She makes videos interviewing strangers and asking them questions. I found myself really intrigued by these videos. I think I watched most of them in like one night. But the strangers shown in her videos were so open and honest that I found myself really connecting and relating with them. It's a strange feeling to be so connected with someone who you don't know and who doesn't know you and will probably never meet in your entire life, but I undeniably felt connected to these people. When thinking about what to do for my senior project, I kept thinking back to Thariah's videos. Interviewing strangers seemed very scary to me. Um, it wasn't something I really wanted to do, um, but I was thinking about the people who are around me, who I'm close with, and I came to the realization that it's pretty rare to have deep conversations, like open and honest conversations, even with someone you see every day or who you've known for a very long time or who you're very close with. Oftentimes these conversations can be uncomfortable and scary and make us feel anxious, but having these conversations allows for an opportunity to be vulnerable and to really connect with people on a deep level. And I think it's important to push through those feelings and feel that vulnerability in order to really connect with people. These conversations are few and far between, at least in my life, but when they did happen, I found myself really treasuring them. So in a way, this video is similar to Thariah's in the sense that you, the person watching this video, might not know me and might not know the people in this video. So I hope you feel the same connection to these strangers as I did to the ones in Thariah's videos. Or at least I hope you find it interesting, hopefully. But it's also different from Thariah's because all the people in this video I've known for a very long time and I love and cherish them and have had many conversations with them. But I wanted to purposefully create a space where they could tell me their stories and I could listen to them and we could have this open and honest conversation that I felt like I hadn't had with them before. Or at least, not often. So if you do know these people, I hope you enjoy listening to their stories and their answers as much as I did. I was just telling Sarah that I'm doing my senior project,
Yes.
and I'm doing a film project about connecting with people around me, my friends, my family, people in the community. And so I'm interviewing people about their stories and their lives and asking them questions so I can connect with them, but also the people who watch the video can connect with them. So I'm only asking 3 questions to each person.
Okay, and I could talk for 2 hours on each subject.
As long as you want, but my camera has low battery, so phone. But okay, the first question is, what has been one of the biggest struggles in your life?
My whole life.
So far.
Um, well, growing up was a struggle. Once getting out on my own, having to deal with, in those days, you had the military was a problem. You had to deal with that. Fortunately, there wasn't any war going on at the time, so I didn't have to, wasn't that big of a struggle in that sense. I guess deciding to get married and all that stuff, that was a big, you never know what the right thing to do is. Just do it. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But every step of the way you learn something, and learn something about yourself, and about other people, of course. And so my next big struggle was just living in the United States. I just found it more and more difficult to have wherever I'm living, to see the environment totally altered by more houses, more highways, more removal of forests and removal of the natural environment. It got where I really couldn't take it anymore. And I thought about moving to different places in the United States. So when the time came, I made up my mind I was going to quit my job when I was 35 and live the way I wanted to, which at that time was to go live in part of West Texas. It was not very populated, and I liked it a lot. But then I had the strange quirk of fate that a friend of mine stayed at my house and made a down payment on an airplane, and the guy who was going to pay the rest of it backed out. So after I had sold my house, I just bought the airplane, and he had been living in Costa Rica, so we came to Costa Rica. That was what I did then. So after that, the struggles that I had were not, they were many, but they were interesting and they were fun. It was easy. It was nice to be able to solve them. It was like, it wasn't so much pressure. I was where I wanted to be. I moved over to the Caribbean, a place with no road, and so to me that was like being in another world, which it was. It's different from now. Anyway, those have been the main struggles, except now at this age I have to struggle with health issues, so that's about it.
Well, accepting the early death of my son, Singer died at age 26 in a car crash. Just trying to grow up and learn to be a bit smarter person than I bumpily was as I was growing up. So there are, of course, lots.
Yeah.
Well, before I found Monteverde, it was finding a place to live where I felt at home, and I spent about 7 years traveling to different countries, different communities, different places, and very quickly, as soon as I came up the mountain in March 1971, so 50 years ago, came up the mountain, and right away I said, this feels right.
I'm glad.
I love it.
Nice.
El conflicto, elegir entre quedarse en España y venir a Costa Rica hace muy poco tiempo, hace 5 años.
Era una decisión correcta. Le gusta aquí.
No, es un avance en calidad de vida impresionante, muy satisfecho.
The biggest struggle in my life?
Yeah.
I think finding a path of integrity and being able to walk my talk. So having like ideals, but not necessarily being able to accomplish them. And I think that's true, especially in light of raising 2 daughters and wanting to be the best role model I can be, as well as provide them with what they need to be their best selves. And it's it's not always easy. Like, I feel like there are a lot of things that get in the way, and even though I might have in my mind exactly what I want to be doing, it's not always, it's a struggle.
Yeah. I think you've done a good job.
Huh?
So I think you've done a good job.
Thank you.
Well, the first part of my life was like moving a lot, and then kind of separating from my mom, but then it got better. And then school was hard, but and then now the pandemic, but I'm sure that's the same for everyone.
Wow. Conflicto, esfuerzo. Es muy bonito, sí. Me hace recordar el tiempo de vivir con mi familia y pertenecer ellos a una religión un poquillo o muy diferente. Y no querer ser parte de esa religión para mí fue un conflicto terrible, y a la vez hacer el cambio de no pertenecer significó también un sacrificio de alguna manera, porque la forma como lo ve mi familia no es la mejor manera, no es lo correcto, entonces ellos toman decisiones de separarme de ellos como familia, producto de la misma religión, entonces para mí eso fue, en mi vida ha sido lo más difícil, lo más duro de mi vida. Entonces, para mí ese es.
Good. And what is one of the happiest memories you have?
Oh, my children being born and raising them. Living in this environment, having a partner that I love very much, a husband, and we've been together now 20 whatever years, depending when you start counting. Having a granddaughter nearby, a lovely, wonderful granddaughter, and she's been close to us and has enriched our lives so much.
Happiest memories? Well, I would say the birth of my children. I try not to get happy much about anything because it's such a fleeting thing. But Sarah and I have had happy times together. And yeah, I don't know, just being able to get out and enjoy the natural world as much as possible makes me happy.
Boy, I feel like I've had a bazillion happy moments and memories. And at the same time, I feel like I have a hard time sometimes remembering all of them because I focus so much on the moment. So, like, when you ask me that question, I'm immediately like, yesterday, swimming in the ocean, or or going out to dinner. So I don't know. I don't feel like I feel like there's just been a whole series of happy moments. None that have maybe stood out more than others, or I'd have to think about it longer.
4.
Okay.
Dos hijos, dos hijas. Son muy bonitos. Y después, verlos crecer, entonces ha sido cosas muy bonitas para mí. En realidad mi vida es lo más lindo.
Qué lindo.
Many of those, many happy memories. Oh. Each time a child is born is a special memory, special time, special everything. So I had several of those. And it's always a blessing. Always a blessing each time.
Finally feeling comfortable and at home. Finding a stable home with my grandparents.
El más lindo,
Más feliz.
más feliz. Más feliz a haber conocido a la persona que comparte mi vida hace más de 15 años ya.
Qué lindo. And the last one is, what is one of your biggest dreams?
We can meet the climate challenge so that you young people can have a good future, or a future. And I have dreams for my daughter in the States and her family, and for Shanti, that they would have lives where they were healthy and fulfilled, interesting and rewarding in different ways. It's rewarding in deep feeling, not rewarding in the material sense at all, but just having a rich life that involves being thoughtful people.
My biggest dream?
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Well, I guess that my children have good lives and a grandchild as well. I don't have only one, right? Many others.
Well,
And I guess a peaceful death.
whew. It's interesting. I think so. At my age, I've had some amazing experiences over my life, and some of them have been the culmination of crazy dreams, like hiking the Appalachian Trail, traveling around the world on semester at sea, moving to a foreign country to live and completely change my life. And so I feel like I've done the crazy dreaming stuff now, and so I think more the dream or the crazy part is to be able to have a retirement or like a time when I'm not working really hard and when I can pause and just enjoy life more without having to work as hard. And to build a house in a quiet place where we can entertain people and enjoy a social life and a simple life. I feel like living in Costa Rica, I already have the place, like the crazy dream place to be. So I don't feel like I need to go somewhere else. And I've done so much traveling. I would love to continue to go other places, but if not, I feel like I've seen so much of the world that it's okay. So I think my dreams are not so crazy and like wild anymore as much as they are to Tango Pass.
Yeah.
Yeah, to like finish my life well, and I feel like I've accomplished a ton and done a lot of the crazy dreaming things, and hopefully have helped through all the work that I've done a lot of people. And so it feels like it's time almost to rest and just enjoy.
El más loco sería de cambiar otra vez. Y como hemos dejado Europa para Costa Rica, pues dejar Costa Rica para otra aventura. Pero bueno,
¿Dónde
sueño loco.
¿Dónde le gustaría ir?
No es esto el problema, es que de momento no tengo un objetivo de este tamaño, un tamaño importante. Hace solo 5 años que estamos aquí y realmente disfrutamos mucho.
Sí.
Con todos los huéspedes, esta calidad de vida que es impresionante.
Sí.
¿Es más loco?
Sí.
Sí, claro. Tirarme un paracaídas. Pero se va a quedar como un sueño, no lo voy a llevar a la realidad.
I guess I have spent all my married life here in this community. And this community to me has been home, and the people in it, family. And my biggest dream, I think, is that it continues to be family, and not just individual houses, which I see it becoming. And it can be, but we have to work at it.
My biggest dream? Or wildest dream? To jump out of a plane on a parachute. Really? Yeah. But I'm scared of fears. So, it's my wildest dream. Let's do it together. Sure. That's it. Is it though? Mm-hmm.
What was your dream? I couldn't hear.
Jump out of an airplane or something.
Yep.
Is that what you said?
Yeah. Actually, Ulysses said the same thing. Really? Yeah. I wanted these conversations to be as natural and organic as possible, so I actually didn't tell them the questions beforehand. I only told them once the camera was recording. I wanted to get people's first reactions, and I didn't want people to plan out their answers. I mean, I don't think that's a good or a bad idea. I think it was just interesting to see people's first reactions to the question and see what they come up with immediately. This means some people forgot things that they later remembered that are very important to them. For example, Sarah said that she completely forgot to mention painting, which has been one of her big joys and also struggles in life. Or maybe someone said something that wouldn't have been their top answer if they had had the chance to think about it. But I think this was really interesting to see people's genuine reaction to the question, and yeah, just have it be as organic as possible. I also struggled with whether I should answer the questions or not, if I should conduct an interview with myself. Since I already know the questions, I thought about them, I thought about what my answers would be, and that's kind of going against what I did with other people. So I decided it was just better for me to like act as a be a camera and just be able to show you other people's answers and try my best to portray them in a thoughtful manner. It was actually really interesting to see how people's answers were similar or were different. A lot of people talked about their family or their children, which I think conveys how important it is to at least the people who are in this video. I think there was a difference between the answers of younger people versus older people. I mean, if I were to have interviewed more young people, I think their dreams might have been quote unquote more wild just because they have more years and more experiences to live through, and also might not have gone through as many struggles as they will go through in the rest of their life. Whereas the older people have already experienced lots of things, maybe have had a lot of struggles compared to a younger person. And some of the answers were probably more quieter dreams, and in the sense of just wanting to live a happy life and not do anything crazy anymore. In general, this whole experience was very rewarding. I'm very glad I got to do it and I had the opportunity to do it, because I felt myself getting closer to the people that I talked with, and I stick by my original idea and thought that open and honest and meaningful conversations are important, and you should make the space for them to happen, because, like I said, even if I've known these people for years, I was grateful for the chance to have this conversation with them when I might not have had the opportunity to do so otherwise. Maybe you can take this video as an opportunity and a sign to create that space with people around you, because I think these conversations can be very beneficial and very rewarding, and in general just can make you feel closer to people. I think making that human connection can be very good and can help support you. I'm very grateful and thankful to the people in this video for allowing me to ask them my weird questions and in turn be closer to them, because I don't know if any of that makes sense. Yeah, I don't know what else to say, so bye.